Perhaps you've already begun to notice how the mind, that wonderful echo chamber of meaning, responds so effortlessly to possibilities it hadn't noticed before. You see, there was once someone who believed that struggle was a signal to stop, until they discovered that every signal could be seen instead as a stepping stone. And a curious thing happens when you ask yourself, what else could this mean? Because in that moment, your unconscious begins rewriting the rules. And maybe, just maybe, you find it strangely compelling. Though what once felt like a barrier was always just an invitation in disguise. You begin to notice the map was never the territory, because reality bends to perception, and perception can be redesigned. You don't need to know how a seed becomes a tree to feel the truth that growth is inevitable, because inside you right now, something ancient and electric is already reaching towards that light. And if you allow yourself to imagine what it would be like to live from the belief that every setback is feedback, every struggle is a strategy, every moment is meaningful, your mind, so clever, begins to adopt it, as if it had always believed that, because of course, you've always been growing. Even when you thought you were stuck, especially then. Let's tell a story. There once was a person who couldn't stop seeing what was wrong. A flaw here, a mistake there, the past wrapped in regret. Until one day they simply asked, what if everything that happened for me? And the world tilted, colours brightened, time stretched. And in that moment, that person became someone new. Not by changing the world, but by remembering they could choose how to see it. And that choice became their freedom. Now you might begin to remember times you felt defeated, and still you learned something. And every time you did, you proved to yourself that you were never broken, just being rebuilt in stronger, more intentional ways. Let's pretend you're always meant to win, not because it's easy, but because you learn faster than you fear. And I wonder how many times your unconscious already knew the answer before your conscious mind finished asking the question. You're the artist, and beliefs are brushes. So if I told you that abundance is not something you chase, but something you tune into, wouldn't it be fascinating to notice how the dial turns automatically, just by deciding that it's possible? Reframing is a superpower, isn't it? Turn the glass and the water is no longer half empty, but rising. Turn the page and the story that once felt painful becomes the very proof that you're resilient, adaptable, unstoppable. So now your unconscious might begin to wonder, what else could I reframe right now? Even that old fear. What if that's just unused courage, waiting for direction? There was once a mind so saturated with problems, it forgot that solutions are magnetic and begin to appear when you feel safe enough to see them. And you're remembering now, aren't you, that certainty is something you generate, not find. And confidence is a frequency, not a fact. And freedom is not a goal, it's the default setting, beneath the noise of not yet. Because every thought is a rehearsal. And you've already begun rehearsing joy, rehearsing clarity, rehearsing the version of you that knows. I'm capable of change. I'm the creator of my reality. Every challenge is my catalyst. You don't need to fight the old to build the new. You just need to install the code. And you're installing it now. Because as you listen, your unconscious is stringing together new neural patterns like pearls on a thread. Beliefs that shine because they're yours and always were. And what if you're the kind of person who naturally reframes, effortlessly visualizes, intuitively adapts? Wouldn't it feel inevitable then that people respond to you with warmth? That luck coincidentally favours your direction? That life begins showing up? The way you've already begun to imagine. And if your unconscious has already accepted that premise, They don't even need to remember how it happened, just that it did.